when you live it fully, in truth, unapologetically, in integrity, you're gonna allow other people permission to do the same. That is how we create change, the ripple. Hey beautiful, welcome to Naturally Empowered Living, your safe space to guiding you on your unapologetic self-awakening journey. This is your weekly sanctuary for waking up from autopilot and transforming the way you approach life through the power of meditation, energetics, and root cause therapy. It is my mission to help you heal unprocessed emotions and release stuck energies by alchemizing your struggle cycles into opportunities for deep self-love, awareness, trust, and connection, to return to your innate essence of being, stepping back into your energy of alignment. Because here, we honor all parts of ourselves, the messy and the magic, the shadows and the light, embodying all parts that make you, you. So if you are ready to get to the root of cultivating real change, get cozy, grab your journal and maybe favorite crystals, and let's discover our power within together. What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Naturally Empowered Living podcast. This is your host, guide, and mentor in all things energetics, emotions, and self-awakening, Jenna Smith. And by golly, summer is here. Not sure where you are listening in the world, but we are officially on summer break from school, the whole upheaval, transitioning of schedules, and this last full moon last week, I think I cried every day for a few days in a row, and my cycle is linked to the full moon, so compilation of both, and that's just where I settle in on. But yes, I think I've been having a lot of inner work for myself lately, a lot of tears, and it's just so interesting because certain things, or when I come into certain stages or seasons of life, again, right, like everything is like a cycle. So this season of summer or just a big transition, right, of scheduling, I'm like, I find myself, crying out of like the blue of like, oh my gosh, my son is 1 year older, like all these things. And it's just life. Like, welcome to Earth School, right? That's all that I can say sometimes. And then, on that flip side too, also when you have these cycles or these seasons and then, you're coming back around and then this time you're like, I handled that completely different than what I would have normally done. And that's like, and then you could visibly, maybe palpably, viscerally feel the changes or the growth or, there's just always something in the best way possible, right? So, hey, welcome back. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about on today's show. This is just me word vomiting all over you. So happy to be here. So just grateful all the days to be behind the mic. Today, though, specifically, I want to talk about something that also, as everything else that I speak about, has been on my heart lately. And I feel like it's something that every single one of us experience in some way or another within some season of our life, and it comes back again and again and again, maybe in stages of growth and then stages of healing, and it could come back with different faces. And today I want to talk about integrity, the power of integrity in the sense of living in alignment with your truth, becoming comfortable using your voice, because the reality is, not everyone's going to agree with you. Not everyone's going to understand you. And sometimes people will create stories about you that have nothing to do with who you actually are. Maybe from an opinion from someone else that was relayed to someone and that they just assumed that about you. Or maybe from that person's specific reality. Like, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But one of the most important things we can do as humans is to live in integrity. To speak our truth, allowing others the freedom to disagree with it. And if I'm being honest, and I'm sure you listening, like that isn't always easy. I personally had to learn the discernment of, am I choosing not to speak up because I'm trying to keep the peace and avoid confrontation? Or is this truly a situation that like, it's just not worth my energy, it's not worth it, right? And like so many of us in so many seasons of life, like I remember I cared more about being liked than being authentic. And I mean, now raising children, like, gosh, like talk about mirrors and just remembering like your own childhood, like just really helping an individual, let alone a child, learn the importance of autonomy and being individual and being unique and being authentic to who you are. And a lot of times we can get stuck in keeping things comfy or pleasing or keeping the peace. But like eventually there always is a cost to that. Like the cost of self-abandonment, the cost of disconnection from yourself, the cost of building resentments, the cost of carrying words or carrying actions that are truly not your own, which build this emotional turmoil within you. And let me step into a different container here because we're going to kind of talk in a few different buckets, okay? But stepping into a different container where integrity, living with the utmost integrity, it's more important than approval. Where speaking your truth matters more than controlling how it's received. Like that is so fucking freeing because you know that you are meeting life, meeting your reality, meeting other people, other interactions, other experiences from your truth. Because think about it, like think of getting caught in a lie, let's say, even a little white lie, but like getting caught in that because you're like, oh wait, now I got to tell this person, or I got to remember I said it like this, or whatever, it gets messy. But when speaking your truth, speaking the truth, living in integrity, it might be uncomfortable. You might make people upset, but like without a doubt, like there's strength in like the confidence of like, that's it. So story time, okay? Since I kind of just went on that a little bit, but let's continue on this little story time. Like, have you ever found yourself in a position or a conversation, let's say, where someone gets brought up in a conversation who's not there? Okay? It could be gossipy. It might not be malicious at all. Like if it was extreme or not. Wherever the intent was, I'm sure we could all agree at some point in our lives, we felt cornered in said situation or said conversation where many of us just found it normal. Let's say we were conditioned to see it as normal to join in on this conversation. Like, what do you do in that situation? Do you feel an urge to participate? Not that you had anything negative to say or that you wanted to hurt anyone, or maybe you did. Like, follow along either way. We've all been, I'm sure in one of these situations. But maybe you felt the urge to participate because you were seeking connection. You wanted belonging, maybe acceptance. Maybe you wanted to fit in and you wanted to avoid being awkward. But I want to challenge you in the awareness of this choice now sitting in front of you. Okay, picture yourself in this conversation with a group of people. You could either participate in said conversation that wasn't aligned with your values, or you could remain in integrity and just simply choose to not engage. Like, that's what I mean about integrity. Like allowing that pride, that freedom, not in like the ego sense, but in the sense of standing in your truth, in choosing differently. Like in the integrity in the sense of doing what's right for you regardless of who's watching or of what someone might say or think about it. And something within just my practice, within work, within healing, personally and professionally, it's taught me that belonging purchased through self-abandonment is never true belonging. I mean, it brings me back to my kids having conversations. Like, people love you for you. Like, do not change who you are to try to fit in. They don't deserve you then, right? And that's okay. Like, but if I have to disconnect from myself to be accepted by others, that cost is too high. Not worth the cost. And I mean, a whole other segue here is like gossip has very little to do with the person even being talked about, but that is a completely different episode. Integrity is choosing who you are when no one is forcing your hand. Choosing your values when it would probably be easier or more comfortable, maybe a little less awkward, not to. An integrity of being able to walk away from a conversation and know that you honored yourself and potentially someone else's energy too. When you act in your own integrity, your own alignment, your own truth with your values, something inside of you becomes peaceful and free. So now personal story time for me. I live in a very, very, very small community, like 800 people small. And if you've ever lived in a small town or even just a tight-knit community, like you're going to probably relate a little bit. Or even if you live in a big city, it doesn't matter, right? But people know people. People have opinions and people talk. People create narratives, just like what I was saying. And I'm not originally from this community, so I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of different people from different circles, let's say, like between coffee meetings or business collaborations, friendships, just connections, conversations. And what I've noticed is like everyone knows everyone. And depending who I talk to, it's a different opinion about something else, right? And it's just so fascinating to me, human nature, like humanity. It's that person's specific truth. Not the collective truth, even though some people might like stand in, this is the absolute black and white truth. I will beg to disagree. Like, it is your truth. It is your perception. And every single one of us experience people, place, things, life through our own lens, through our own wounds, our own expectations, our own past, our own nervous system, our own lives. So this means that two different people can have two completely different experiences with the exact same person, and both experiences feel true to them. And something that I have become really aware with is how quickly people can also place you into a category because they accept what someone else says about someone as truth. That is self-abandonment. Okay? So with that is the beauty about not being quote unquote everyone's cup of tea. However, like the asterisk here is please get to know someone yourself before you take an opinion of someone from someone else, because that's their truth. Is this landing? Does this make sense? Like, that's what I mean about not giving into the self-abandonment and leading with integrity. And leading with integrity in terms of being you, speaking your truth, regardless of who you're speaking to. I mean, it goes the other way also, to be confident enough to be yourself and not kind of morph your personality based on who you're hanging out with. Like, there's a lot of layers here. And I mean, being honest, thinking back again to like being a teenage girl, oh my gosh, how cliquey, how gossipy, how mean girly the energy can be. And think of how many times I abandoned certain parts of me or like morphed myself to just fit in because I was approved by, whoever in that point of my life. What I want to bring to you is a little check-in on integrity with yourself. Like, are you someone that possibly is so focused on managing someone else's perception of you? Maybe you want to fit in, maybe you want to be accepted, that you stop asking yourself, what do I actually think? What do I actually believe? What do I actually want to say? And then there's discernment that comes in and values, of course. But to really connect back to you. Am I being myself regardless of who I'm talking to? Such an impactful lesson is that we are not reacting to the collective reality. Like, we're reacting to our perception of reality. We're all walking through very different lenses of life. Hence, we are all experiencing a slightly different version of the world, of life itself. And that's why one person can absolutely love someone while another person struggles with them. Or why one person may see confidence while another sees arrogance. It's why one person experiences a boundary as healthy while someone else may experience that as rejection. Like, neither perspective necessarily is right or wrong defining the person, right? It just reveals that we're not everyone's cup of tea. And I know I just said that, but I've found it's kind of like requested. Many people have said before, like, I really like how you describe things in different ways. Like, it really helps it land. So I hope that I've been kind of toying with a different layout, different format of receiving or recording podcast episodes. So coming back to this bucket of how integrity creates freedom and peace. Like, I hope we could understand or kind of come to the agreement that it's not about being right. It's about staying aligned and true to ourselves. Like, that's a difference, right? Like, being right, quote unquote, it means that we're trying to convince someone else, which absolutely okay in black and white situations, sure, whatever. That's not what I'm talking about. Being aligned means that we're at peace with ourselves. Like, we kind of know. We know when we kind of get that gut feeling or that pit in your stomach. And if we slow down enough, we know when we're acting in alignment with our values versus not. And kind of getting to that stage of life, that self-love within ourselves, that we don't need everyone to understand us anymore, or we don't need unanimous approval anymore because we focus on what's ours. That's the integrity. And the moment that you know who you are, other people's opinions start to lose grip on you because you're not asking them to tell you who you are anymore. You already know. And this is an analogy that I use with my clients a lot. You might, say like, but Jenna, like, I'm struggling with my relationship with my loved one or with a dear friend. And, I want to keep this relationship and, but I'm falling into people pleasing or resentment or whatever that might be. I tell them, picture a road, okay? Just a straight road. And you know where the halfway mark is on this road. You're on one side, said person is on the other side of this road. You both are aware of where this halfway mark is. You can only meet this other person halfway. And if you can tell yourself as you were, stepping, running, walking, crawling to this halfway mark, are you doing, acting, giving, receiving in your utmost integrity? Are you taking ownership? Are you turning the mirror on yourself? All of that on that halfway mark to your halfway side of the road is done in integrity, respect, morals, values, kindness, right? But you cannot cross that other halfway mark. That is their job. Because what is past your halfway mark is now out of your control. You cannot control someone else's actions. You can share your expectations, but you cannot control the outcome. So once you go past that halfway mark, that's when we start seeing people pleasing or building resentments because we are self-abandoning our truth, our integrity, our ownership and accountability. Does that make sense? That's something I use so often with my clients. Again, all soul bio individual. So, you customize that based on said situation, but it's hard. We might fear judgment. We might fear that we might lose someone. And historically, like on a nervous system level, like we are created for survival. Like we're linked, belonging, connection is linked to our survival. Like humans were never meant to live alone. So we are kind of conditioned to fear rejection, exclusion, criticism, judgment. Like that's normal to feel that. It's because we're human. So if you're listening today and you're feeling any sort of feels, if this resonates in any capacity, good, right? Good. Someone may misunderstand you. Someone may disagree with you. Someone may create a story or an opinion about you. Someone might judge you. But none of that changes who you are. The question is not if everyone agrees with your truth. The question is whether you're willing to stay and stand in your truth and integrity regardless of their approval. The only story you need to live is your own. And when you live it fully, in truth, unapologetically, in integrity, you're gonna allow other people permission to do the same. That is how we create change, the ripple. Okay, by becoming brave enough to stand in our truth and let our lives speak for themselves. Be a part of that change. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need to hear this reminder today too. And you could always also take a moment to leave a review. That truly helps this work reach more people who are ready for this kind of healing and truth. And if you're on your own healing journey and want to explore the root cause, maybe behind the people pleasing, the fear of judgment, or difficulty using your voice, please, I would be so honored for you to reach out. These patterns, they run deep, right? They may run deeper than we consciously realize. And healing truly is possible. I'll talk with you soon. Until next week, as always, simply be you. You have everything inside of you to learn your energy of alignment and be unapologetic in who you are. I'm sending my love and so much light.
Did you find this episode freeing or empowering? Please read my review. Tickle, boop.
Thank you for spending the sacred time with me on Naturally Empowered Living. If this episode brought you closer to stepping into your energy of alignment, I'd love for you to leave a written review and share how this show has supported your journey. Your feedback truly lights me up and helps others find the space of transformation. And sharing it with someone who might need it spreads the ripple of healing even further. Be sure to check the show notes for ways to connect with me and explore personalized healing sessions and mentorships to deepen your self-awakening journey. Thank you. I appreciate all you are and all you do.